Happy birthday to you. This is my sister Natalia. Tomorrow she turns 29 years old, and this year for her birthday, she asked me to make her the bookshelf chair from Instructables.com. But she didn't just ask me to make her this chair for this year's birthday. Natalia's been asking me every year for the past 3 years for this exact bookshelf chair. Every year up to this year has been fulfilled promises, and this year it's time to deliver. And somehow I've waited to the last day, the day before her birthday, to get started. Alright, let's get going here. So I'm going to start off following the instructions straight from Instructables.com. Step 1, let's make the base out of some plywood and 2x2 inch pine. And I'm going to stick to the plans here and make the sides 29 inches tall, so I'll cut 4 of the 2x2s to this length. Next, I'll take the plywood base I cut out and cut a square from each of the corners so that the legs can be attached to the plywood and be level with the base. I'll also attach the 1x2 slats along the entire base to sit flush with the legs. For all of my connections, I'm going to be using a combination of wood glue, brad nails, and some pocket screws. This will make the chair sturdy and not crack under the pressure of all the books plus the weight of a human. Okay, so let's add some 1x2 inch pine between the 2x2s for support with some pocket screws and wood glue. Now, this step was my own doing. I didn't trust for these side slats alone to be supportive enough for the chair, so I'm adding a big hunk of 4x4 that I'll glue right between the base plywood and the plywood sheet that will be the seat bottom. I also decided to use a lot of pocket screws and screw right into the side slats, rather than create the large amount of side supports that Instructables was showing. Let's leave the support slats for the end and see how many we can get done in time, but for now let's move on to building the rest of the chair. We're going to cut the sides of the chair portion out of some more 3/4 inch plywood and use pocket screws to secure it both to the back piece as well as the bottom seat portion. We're going to do the same thing for the bottom piece that makes the borders for the bookshelf, just narrower pieces of plywood will be used. Since I'm screwing these into the top and bottom pieces to reinforce it, I'll use pocket holes on the inside of 3 of the pieces, and then I'm going to use the pocket holes on the outside of the last piece, which will save time for covering up a lot of these holes. And this is where I started to see the main problem with these specific Instructables. The amount of slats and the order of operations of how these are cut out and attached one by one makes this an insanely labor-intensive process. And it is really difficult to reach with big meaty hands and a giant power drill inside to get these pocket screws. So we're just going to press on because we're nearing nighttime here and we can't let down the little sis for another birthday year. I cheated a little bit here and switched using wood glue and brad nails instead of pocket holes, since I don't think I could finish this in time if I was using pot screws for each individual slat, plus the time needed to cover up each and every single one of these. If I was going to remake this chair, I think we could really save a lot of time here and make a better design for these slats. Maybe some half lap design that only requires wood glue and lets it sit flush. I'm not sure, but let me know any ideas you guys might have in the comments. Okay, now, even from the instructions, you can tell we are about to hit the mother load of work. Lots of pictures and angles with not many details, showing all these slats that just appear with all these pocket screws in each single one of them, and each one needs to be covered up. But we're T-minus 24 hours here until the birthday, and nobody's got time for this. So let's cheat in the back where we don't really need the vertical slats. I'm just going to use one long horizontal piece across it all. And for the rest of the slats, back to brad nails and wood glue. I did have to use pocket screws for the small horizontal pieces to make it more secure than the brad nails could do. And you can already see how much this is going to hurt having to cover up all of these holes. But first, let's go ahead and attach a plywood platform for the books to sit on. All right, so it's a little bit past midnight, so that means it's your birthday, Natalie. So happy birthday. Almost done with this chair, which is a lot more work than I would have expected. This has been a project. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna close up these pocket screws and then we're gonna paint. Let's get to it. My favorite way for covering up pocket screws is using some wood glue, a dowel, and then cutting it flush with a flat blade. You can save some time here by buying the pre-cut Kreg plugs, but I never can get myself to justify the cost of these. Okay, now on to the paint. I was beyond tired at this point and made this terrible choice of paint color that looked like some poison ivy green. After applying enough of it, I decided this is just the time to stop and let's pick this up in the morning. So in the morning, I went and bought a better paint color, and I also switched to use my air sprayer since there's absolutely no time to applying several layers with a paintbrush. So, moral of the story, don't wait till the last minute. Don't trust all of these free plans you can find on the internet. But still, I finally finished this 3-year project, and man, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. Let's go ahead and see what the sys thinks. Oh, and Ruby tried to help carry the chair with me to the car, so what a good dog. So this 3-year project is finally done. My sister finally got her bookshelf chair and she couldn't be happier. Here's a quick view of the Instructables chair versus my rendition of it. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it to follow along with all of our projects. And as always, thanks again for watching, guys. Peace.